Good afternoon, all you business geeks out there in business geekdom. Geekdom? I think it's geekdom. You are watching or listening right now to the Business Geeks Podcast, an entrepreneurial show where three friends geek out loud and proud on everybody's business. I'm Super Joe Pardo of superjoepardo.com and indiepodcasters.com. I'm joined by my two wonderful co-hosts, Jennifer Crawford, the co-founder of Sparent.co, and Samantha Riley of SamanthaRiley.global. This week, we are talking about when, if, should, what do I do when, time to raise those prices. And I know that we all have both different experiences and different probably a little bit of different feelings on those questions and how we approach them in our businesses, and depending on what kind of business we have too, because I will divulge into some inventory based raising of prices and when things went up from the past. So anyway, how are you both feeling today? You both awake now that we got to dance it out and
Yeah. Well, I guess I found out how old I am today.
Oh, congratulations.
Hang on. Tell us more, Jen.
I am adjustable bed old. I ordered myself a new mattress, and I had an option of getting the adjustable frame, so you can put the head, the feet or the head area up. And it also comes with, built-in massaging mechanism.
Jen, I don't know about this.
I am adjustable bed years old.
Wow, you are.
I thought you were going to say the air mattress thing.
No.
I don't know what they're called.
And
I had one, and I did not like it.
You can make fun. I've spent years making fun of the Sealy Posturepedic. Is that the one that that's kind of famous for it shows in the commercial. The elderly couples going up. But I need this. I need this because I always read before I go to bed, and I've got this concoction of pillows that I can never get just right. My mattress, I realized, not my mattress, mine and Thor's mattress, our mattress, we realized is 20 years old, and you're not supposed to have a mattress for 20 years.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's, it was a nice mattress when we bought it, but it's, we've flipped it and turned it as much as we can. We've definitely gotten our use out of it. So I'm excited about the new bed, but I know that this is not something a 20-year-old would purchase, but I'm excited anyway.
I'm so glad you've got a new bed.
Thank you. It's on its way.
I gotta tell you, at one point we had a bed where it was half soft and half hard, and that was the dumbest thing because when you go to rotate the bed, you literally have to move all of your stuff to the other side of the broom. Right. So it was like trying to counteract I forget what the name of the air mattress people's the company thing. I'm trying to search. I can't think of the name of the company.
Oh, okay.
The inflatable bed mattress thing. I don't know. Somebody
guests,
somewhere is
right?
screaming at me.
I thought that's what you did when you went camping.
No,
that's like camping,
There's like
a
high quality one.
Not a camping quality.
No.
I've never heard of such a thing.
No.
I can't think of the name of it. Where's Brent when you need him? I'm sure he would know.
Yeah, Brent, help Joe.
Well, I did discover something that I think might be helpful if you are searching for a mattress, which I found this is something I've put off because when you go to shop for a mattress, it's overwhelming because there's so many choices. And I decided I was going to go with one of these online mattress companies because I didn't really want to go to a mattress store, particularly now. What is that like? Mm-hmm. Anyway, as I was bouncing between these online mattress companies, I was seeing some that had different names, but were very similar in terms of what they offered. And I was like, I realized they're all the same company. And we really realized it when it showed up on our credit card receipt. We saw the double name. I was like, I was right. It is all the same company. They're the mattress companies, these online mattress companies, several of them are competing against themselves. I mean, they're literally competing against themselves.
They're not competing though, Jen. So they'll match any price that you will find,
Right.
but the problem is you won't, because they all use different part
Well,
numbers.
that's what I'm saying. They're
and
Wow.
funding.
competing against
Wow.
themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know when we're talking about buying mattresses, I can't. Every time I always think of that scene in the Intern. Like, do you know the movie I'm talking about, where the two guys go work at Google, and there's a scene where Will Ferrell is the mattress salesman, and he's like, coming on to the hot young girl, and he's telling the old woman to go away. That's always what I think of when you talk about mattresses.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, enough about my mattress.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
I found it. It was the Sleep Number bed. And yes, so we bought this queen mattress, which wasn't really big enough to begin, for 2 people, and it was half and half. So you would, like, if you're on the hard side, you'd roll a little bit and then fall into the soft side. It was not good. Not good at all.
Yeah,
And every time you
that was
rotated
weird.
it, you had to move all your stuff to the other, to the other bed
Crazy.
nightstand. Yeah, it was a really bad decision. Anyway,
Well, I hope I have better luck with this mattress. I'm very excited. It even has
I hope so,
USB ports in the side of it. It's very modern day.
Oh wow.
Super
Very
fancy
modern.
there.
It's a super fancy mattress.
Super. That is actually really convenient. Then you don't have to have as many chargers sitting under your bed.
There's a lot of convenience. I'm feeling like this is going to help me in so many ways, because my sleep quality has been kind of bad lately, because
It could be because of all those devices, I'll just say. That I probably wouldn't be using the USB ports in the mattress.
Oh, you think because of the stuff coming off the phone and
Yeah,
everything?
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I don't usually have it in the bedroom with me, actually. I charge it in my office, so I'm kind of with you there.
Excellent.
Um,
Marsha says, does it spin? I love it. Does
don't
it hand out fairy floss? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I don't think it has cup holders. That was kind of what I was like, why does it have a cup? This thing should have cup holders.
You're buying a mattress, not a car.
You know what? I want
Well, you know what?
I want it to be comfortable. I want it to be.
But
work
if
for me.
you can set it up into like a seating position, then yeah, I guess a cup
Yeah.
holder makes sense. You can
Yeah.
watch a movie and drink the cup. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
and get this,
awesome.
it has a 0 gravity setting.
What?
Wow.
You're like, what? So basically, NASA determined, this is the sales pitch. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but NASA determined that for their astronauts, the most comfortable sleeping position is this like 0 gravity position. So on the remote control for my new mattress, I can just hit 0 gravity and I'll be sleeping like an astronaut.
What?
Wow.
Ding
Well,
ding.
well, tell us what it feels like to go to the moon at night. I really
Yeah.
want to know.
I just
Oh,
don't make
man.
fun of my mattress, Brent. I see you in the chat over there. How dare you?
Today, well,
My first new mattress in 20 years. Give me a little, let me have a bells and whistles.
Who knew we could get such a good laugh over a mattress?
Yeah, exactly.
Jen,
Well, I'm
you're
looking forward
always
to
delivering.
updates.
You are always delivering.
I'm like the mailman. or the mailman post, not the post 2020 mailman, but the
Yeah.
2019 mailman.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, so this week talking about pricing and when is it time to raise prices? So I'll kick it off from an inventory standpoint. We used to raise our prices, in the truck parts company. Whenever a new price sheet was coming out, we would raise them immediately. Like as quick as we got them and got the stuff into the system, we would flick over the prices immediately. Because you don't know, like there's just so many, when you're dealing with so many different parts, like you just don't know what you have, what you don't have. There's no easy way to do like a rolling thing. You're not talking about like 6 part numbers. You're talking about like 60,000 to 600,000 parts, and it just isn't, it's not possible. So you just, and then, and it does sometimes get tricky, right? Because people would say, oh, well, I literally just bought this filter last week and now it's 80 cents more. What the heck happened? Like, well,
The prices went up.
Yeah, because it used to be a thing where it's like it would go up like once a year, right? Leading up to like the beginning of the year, they'd have a new price sheet come out like mid-December, and you'd have like 2 weeks to get it in. But then like as like back in like 2006, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it was like sometimes 3, 4, 5 times a year. They're like coming out with a new price sheet for these for these parts.
Well, that's inventory. Okay, so Joe, I want to ask you because my guess is, since this was your show topic, my guess is this was a topic that was feeling near and dear to your heart because you recently raised rates. Inventory, schmingentory. I want to talk about IndiePod University raising its rates because I think this was something that your business friends, your business geek friends have been encouraging you to do, but let's bring it home, Joe. Talk about your recent experience.
Yeah. So I raised the prices for IndiePod University. It started out at $10, to get in, but it was a limited product where there wasn't like a separate community based around it. There was less value. It was mostly just like, hey, if you want access to all these recordings, there's like 150 hours of recordings for podcasting resources and past like workshops and things. Like, boom, it's all right here. It's just $10 a month, and we sold like next to zero. If not zero.
It was $10 a month, right? Not just $10 total.
No, $10 a month. Yeah, it's $10 a month because we were constantly adding and pouring in another like 6, 7, 8 hours of recordings pretty much every 2 weeks for a while there. And even now, like the newest conference that we're hosting coming up in September, which is now going to be a 2-day event, not a 1-day event, because ding ding, I don't know. We got so much to do. We can't pack it all in one day. So once it was like, okay, so I was like, well, what if I take this other program that I was running to like get more of the, like the one-on-ones and the groups and stuff like that, like group coaching calls and things of that nature. What if I just took all that and brought it back together? Because originally it was going to be all together like that. But I wanted something that was like a lower price point, but apparently that didn't fly. So it was like, okay, well, we're going to raise it to $100. And not only did we bring in, 12, 15 people under the $10 a month banner or price point, I guess. We did bring in, I think we're at like 4 or 5 right now at the $100 price point. So it's growing, like, and it's awesome. Like,
Well, it's
Can I?
not-
Oh,
I was gonna.
no, you good, Jen.
Well, I was going to bring you in, Sam, because I learned something from Samantha Riley this week. And that is that 97% of people who purchase static courses don't actually complete them. And that there's a benefit from, instead of creating a course, to create a program. And Samantha did.
Wow, you've been reading my LinkedIn posts, Jen.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
It was great information. So Joe, it sounds like to me that one, you created a program as opposed to just the static, library of resources. Yep. So something that's more interactive and packed with more value. And that is actually a really great tip for when you're raising your rates. One thing you can do not to tick off your customers is give them more for their money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it does kind of get tricky sometimes, though, right? Because full disclosure, somebody was like, "Oh, well, because we're paying, some of us are paying for the group. Should we get free tickets to Icon 6?" And I was like, "No, like this is a separate event that's not being held inside that." With that said, I'm doing a workshop on August 20th, which I need to plug. Which we have. Oh man, I forgot to run I forgot to tick the ticker in the bottom. But on August 20th, we're doing a workshop that we're hosting inside of the Icon University, so that anybody who buys a ticket gets it's a $100 workshop. You get a 1 month access to the community and the resources, and and you get incorporated in that, you get the workshop as well. So, but it's trying to like find the right price and all that. Like, you don't want to go too low and be like, oh, you're gonna get like 1 month. I mean, I guess at that point it's like a 1 month discount, because then it's gonna go up to 100 anyway. But it's just things like that, keeping those things in mind when trying to price things going forward.
Mm-hmm.
That you're not
I've
like,
written
we're
so
doing
many
a
notes here.
$10 sale. It's like, well, wait, what about all those people that have been paying $100 for like 6 months? Now all of a sudden these people are getting in for $10, even if it's a 2 month, 1 month, 3 month kind of thing. Like, it can get tricky. It's, you're not Walmart, right? They could be like, whatever. We'll just write a couple little, return checks, no big deal. Or here's a gift card. Have a great day.
I don't think there's a problem with the founder's price. I think
not a founder's price. I'm saying going backwards, like doing a sale after the fact, not a founder's price.
Okay.
Because right now, that was the founder's price, which is like $10. And actually, I did a lifetime access to it prior, like back in September. So we had people that have already purchased into that. Not many, but a handful of people that had purchased into that are going to get lifetime access for all of that going forward. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't have to do that, but I felt compelled to do it.
I want to ask about that lower price point. The people that first joined up at that lower price point, were they people that had known you for a long time and they already knew how much value you provide, or were they brand new cold leads that you'd never heard of before?
Most of those people I did know for a long time. They just weren't signing up. Now, part of the problem was probably a marketing problem of having two programs that I was trying to hey,
it's always a marketing problem.
And then there's there's the super circle where you get the community access, you get access to the university resources, you get access to the one-on-one time and group coaching calls and all these things. And so so it was so just taking it, and originally I had that. I just couldn't offer all that at $10 a month, and I wanted to have something that was cheaper, but as it turned out, that wasn't necessarily what was needed.
Because I think here's the thing with pricing, and I know you'll agree with this, Jen, that there is actually a tipping point where when you put something at a really low price point, people will think, well, I'm not going to sign up because it's going to be crap. Can I say that?
That's what I would think.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have signed up at $10 a month because I'd be thinking, well, there's going to be nothing of value in there whatsoever. So that's why I ask people that know you, they'll be like, wow, I know how much value this person gives. This is a bargain. I'll sign up. But the chance of getting someone that you've never seen before or they have never been in your world to sign up at that price point is pretty low. Pretty low.
So where's the tipping point, right? When you're thinking okay, I don't want to do too much, but I don't want to do too little. And I guess it all kind of comes back to where that marketing is, who's it pointed to, right? Who are you targeting? So, but there's always got to be a tipping point, right? And trying to find the right dollar figure, I mean, it can be tricky, especially going on early. To me, it's easier to go up than it is to I'm gonna
you don't go down
1,000 and then go down. You don't obviously you don't want to do that because you're gonna take a lot of people off later on down the road. So yeah.
Well, maybe this is a good time to talk about when you want to raise your prices, right? Because you can't just do it willy-nilly. You will tick people off. You can't do it too often. But there are certain times in business where I think it is incredibly important to raise your prices. So I thought let's talk about that, and then we can kind of go into how you can do it without being fearful that you're going to lose all of your business. Because I think that's the big fear, right? That if I raise my prices, I'm going to lose my customers. I'm going to lose whatever revenue is already coming in. So we operate in this state of fear, even though our costs are going up. One reason to raise your prices, our profit, maybe we're not profitable. I mean, so I've seen business owners who just slap a price on their services or products without doing a lot of research. And then they realize they're not charging enough to make a profit.
And then they pray.
And then they pray. And they think, if I just get 5,000 more customers, I'll make it up in volume. So
maybe
so
very, very true.
It's so true. If you have more work than you can handle, you have just, you've entered into that supply demand world, which is really the two things that determine prices, right? So if you have more work coming in than you can handle, it's time to raise your prices.
100%.
Simple. That's an easy one. I mean, that's
super easy.
No.
So did either of you watch the video that I sent over?
Of course.
It was talking about
we always do our homework, Joe.
Oh, of course.
Dare you even? The fact that you even asked is insulting.
I'm sorry.
How dare you think I come unprepared?
This guy comes unprepared. Not
I have
you.
two pages of notes.
I was self-projecting. It was terrible.
dare you.
No, but the idea that like you know in the video that we taught or I sent in the notes was like how to go about raising your prices, and one of the philosophies is like all the time, like every time you have a new project, raise the price.
Mm-hmm.
New customer. Now, in that video, they were talking specifically to an artist. You know, so
Yes.
the two hosts of that video apparently work with creatives, which have, you know, people that are creating one of a kind work. They have a particular difficulty with pricing, because I've worked with artists before because they're doing something they love, and so there's a lot of like guilt around, you know, taking money for doing something that they love. But yes, a very interesting discussion. And one thing that Joel Pilger said, a quote from that video that I loved was, position yourself as an expert, not as a service provider.
Mm-hmm.
And I
100%.
thought that was really a brilliant statement, because you have a unique knowledge that you're delivering. I don't care what you're doing whatever you're offering with your business, you have a unique, intimate knowledge of something that your customer does not.
Exactly.
And you also have a limited resource. At some point, that resource is limited, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in terms of, let's get back to when to raise your prices. If your cost, I think we talked about this, your cost of doing business is increasing, your prices have to, you know, flex with that, because you can't just shrink your profit margin and expect to stay in business for any length of time, because guess what? Your cost of doing business is probably going to continue to go up from year to year. If your competitors are charging significantly more than you, I get you. You know, I've never liked the be the cheapest, you know, game in town strategy. That's not something that appeals to me. I don't want to race to the bottom.
No.
But definitely, if you know for a fact that you're the cheapest, I mean, you have room there to move your prices around. Oh, Mary Sue has a question. Love that. If I'm an expert, do I add 20% to my price? She's like, if she considers herself an expert. Yeah, of course. Yeah, do it. Do it, Mary Sue. I'll support you with that. Oh, I'm a customer of hers, so I just cost myself some money, but that's okay.
Sorry, it's a perfect example to raise your prices. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
It's a domino effect. What am I missing, Sam? Where are some other reasons?
I think that talking about supply and demand, we're service providers here. So, and that's mostly what we're discussing is service providers, because it is so much easier when you're talking a product, right? So let's just sort of wipe that off the table. I actually think that, and this is how I do it, I put my prices up monthly, and that's how I find my tipping point. Because you just keep bringing them up a little, and you kind of find where you settle. And that supply and demand will change as you get more well known. So with Mary Sue, I put my prices up probably about an hour before you sent that link through for the YouTube video, Joe. So I had a bit of a giggle when I saw it come through, because I just put my prices up this week. And I will do the same next month, and I will do the same the next month after. When I put my prices up, I don't put my prices up for all my clients. So this is where it's a little bit different for me. Whatever my clients sign up to, that's their price. They may get a price increase at some point. You know, if the dollar drops, probably I will put my prices up, because in Australia it's a little bit different for us, because we're paying out all our costs in US dollars, but some people are bringing in Australian dollars, and let me tell you, it's not dollar for dollar. So that's something that Australians really need to pay attention to, is what our costs are, because a lot of people get confused with that. But you need to be looking at your profit margins. Yep. What do those profit margins look like? And in service, it's got to be I'd be looking at 50% being the minimum, 50 to 70% should be the kind of profit margin for a service-based business. And if you can get above 70%, do it.
Nothing
but you
wrong
need
with
to be
that.
need to be paying attention to your costs. And it's a bit funny. I have a bit of a giggle when people in coaching businesses say, "Oh, I'm a coaching business. I have no costs." Really? Really? You don't have any costs? Let's just talk about this. We've got a CRM. We've got hosting. We've got, probably some sort of contractors along the way. We've got, Zoom. We've got all of the tools and the resources that we use. You add them up, like it's in the thousands per month. Well,
Not to
mine is
mention
anyway.
Your time.
Correct.
Your
Exactly.
time.
Yep.
I mean, time, it's so valuable, and we discount it all the time, or we don't even account for it. Such a huge miss there, not to factor in your time. I think another sign that you need to raise your rates, particularly if you have a team, employees, if you can't attract or keep top talent in your company because you can't afford to pay them what the industry standard is, then you need to raise your rates.
Mm-hmm. That's
period.
a really good one.
I mean,
That's
you've got to be able
Jen.
you've got to be able to pay your people. You got to be able to pay your people well, because guess what? That, if you can't keep top talent, your whole business is going to be diminished in quality, right? So you're not going to be able to deliver quality services or products if you don't have top talent. So yeah,
that's a really, really good point, because I think that a lot of people just think about themselves. But when you're growing, it has to go way past yourself, way past. Yeah. And you need to be pricing for that before it happens.
And here's another way to look at it. You have to, sometimes I think every business gets to the point where you need to price out your pain in the butt clients.
She needs a ding for that, Joe.
Yes.
You got to price them out. And sometimes raising your rates, you're going to lose customers. But guess who you're going to lose first? Mm-hmm. You're going to lose the customers that didn't value you to begin with, and were probably, causing you 80% of your headaches.
You know what? That was the gold of the show. There we go. Jen, brought it home.
Yeah. I got a ding. Oh. Yay. All right. So how can we go about raising? Okay. So let's do the scary thing. We know we need to raise our prices. Our profits are down. Our costs are up. Our customers need to be priced out. We need to bring in top talent, whatever the reason, or all of the above. How do we do it?
Can we role play this?
Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Okay.
To do that.
Can I be a queen? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Of course you can.
Sure. The queen.
I thought we were going to pick our own parts. Never mind. Embarrassing.
It's all right. Well, that's the improv in you. Is just, just jumping out at it. Yes.
I'm just me. Okay.
Okay. Yes, you can.
I'm confused what the role play is.
So one of us will be the client and one of us will be the provider.
Okay.
So Sam, do you want to be the provider or do you want me to be the provider?
Well, no. This is why I'm confused, because isn't it as simple as when someone says, cool, what's the price? You just tell them the new price?
Well, no. Okay, so this is, it can be, but what if you get pushback? Not everyone's just like, oh yeah, new price, cool. Like I just paid $600 and now all of a sudden I'm paying $750, like for the same exact thing. Like what happened here? Or in my mind, the same exact thing as the client, right? But it's not the same exact thing, and it's not the same exact anything. Now my team's bigger because of clients like you. I had to expand and add more cost.
See, I never ever explain myself. It's just that's the price, and then I just go quiet.
I'm not saying you need to. Don't get me wrong there. I'm saying that's the reasoning behind needing to raise the price. But
I'm going to sit back. I'm going to sit back and watch Jen be the queen and be you, and watch you be the service provider, Joe, because I'm intrigued. I feel like I'm missing something here.
Well, Sam,
I think fail bad at this.
No. I think Sam, I think what you're missing is, I think it's challenging when you're raising the rates with existing customers. So you said you honor your rates with your existing customers. You only raise with the new customers. But for a lot of businesses, they need to raise rates across the board, even with their existing, customers. I've been in a position to do that. We did it in Sparent. The reason I like this subject is because a lot of people think, okay, there's one way to raise my rates. I charge $10 for X and now I'm going to charge 15. But there's so many ways you can raise your rates that aren't as blunt, right? Or maybe a little subtle, easier to digest, but end up with the same dollars, on the table. So, for instance, with Sparent, we didn't raise our hourly rate for our virtual assistants, but we did have, stupidly so, we had rollover hours. We allowed our clients to if they didn't use the hours they paid for, they would roll over and they could use them later, But what was
that
happening?
sounds painful.
Oh, it was. So what
Yeah.
happened is we had quite a few clients who were banking up these hours, and so we had essentially like an escrow account, for that money. So if when they cashed them in, it would, we wouldn't have to worry that it wasn't there, that we spent it on expenses or whatever. But our accountants are like, "What the heck are you doing? This is a nightmare." So we didn't raise our rates, but we stopped rollover hours. So in essence, we were kind of adjusting our rate structure a little bit because we were not allowing sort of that benefit of that carryover. So it wasn't a direct raising of your rates, but there are ways you can package things in order to get that value from your customer dollars without just being like, okay, we're now charging this and deal with it. So anyway, okay, sorry that I went on an aside.
I think that was really, really good point.
Yeah, that was. And I wanted to back on that was, that's the way I always start with trying to figure out my pricing is starting with like a base package of like, okay, so if this costs this much, this is and then it's like, okay, now how can I raise it from there, right? Can I add something? How can I, what else did I not include to figure out? Like, you bring all these pieces together and you say, okay, like this is how much I can like I should bare minimum be charging, and now let me add like 30% to that. At minimum, right? And then I have a starting price to go to market with and be like, hey, Sam, what do you think of this idea? And it's like, okay, and it's $200 a month or something, and it's like, oh, okay, that that doesn't sound too unreasonable. Okay, great.
Actually,
at least then you have a sudden, then you go, oh, now it's 300.
Super good point. So let me just share how I did this. And at the time, I thought it was a mistake, but now I don't think it was. I wanted to raise my prices, and I was a bit funny about it at the time, but I was adding like a ridiculous amount of value. So what I did was pulled back some of the client-facing activities that I was doing, and I cut that in half. And then that didn't feel right to me. So what I did was added them back in and then put my prices up.
And that's effectively what I did with IndiePod University. I had all that stuff in there, and I was like, okay, $10 a month. Like, this should be like super easy. Like, it's going to go big. And then it did cricket, right? We got the crickets. So it's like, okay, well, what can I do? I'll take those pieces out, put them in a different package, sold one or two of those, okay, and then bring them back together, and the right price goes even up higher.
Yeah, I think sometimes what we forget when we have that fear of raising prices is that in a lot of ways we are communicating a lot to our customers about the value of our products and services, right? So that $10, Joe, like you were communicating, as we said earlier, that what you were offering had little value. It's like, it's worth $10 a month. Like, it's not even worth my time. So we have to be careful about what we, communicate in terms of, the perception of our current customers and also potential customers on what we are actually delivering.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was talking to a girlfriend of mine last week, and I was like, I'm at that age where I need not only an adjustable mattress, but I'm thinking about like getting my skin sandblasted, getting like a chemical peel or something. And she says, you should get on Groupon, because there's a lot of these, medical places, these, that have huge discounts. And I said, I don't want a discount. If there's one thing I'm going to pay full price for, it's having anything to do with my face. I want to pay full price. I don't want the doctor working on my face going, well, this one, got 50% off.
I want to walk out with my face.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're saying.
I want him to use the good laser. I don't want him to use the janky laser that from, 2010, because I paid 50% less than the lady ahead of me. So yeah, there's certain things I feel good about spending, top dollar
massages.
on.
Massages. Mm-hmm.
Anything to do with the face. Anything to do I don't want the bottom dollar dentist or surgeon. I want the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and how do we know what the good one is? Well, we don't necessarily at the beginning, but unless we get a referral, generally we're basing our perception or our thoughts on price
and online reviews, which
Yes.
I will be reading pages and pages and pages before I take that plunge. But
You should go check out our past episode where we talked about online reviews.
Absolutely. If you have tons and tons and tons of 5-star reviews and you haven't raised your rates in a year, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
So Jen,
hang on, can I change that? If you haven't reviewed your rates in a year, it's time. Period.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Oh, we doing musical theatre now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Sam. Back off. Go for it, Joe.
I don't know. We haven't even been able to do the role playing yet, so I don't know if we're going to be able to do the theater.
Okay. All right, Jen. Well, how about I be one of your sparring clients, and you just came to me and said, "Hey, we're gonna take away your rollover."
Okay.
Did you take away the rollover minutes?
Took them away.
Stop it, and then
I took them away. We gave them notice. We gave them notice, but we gave them 60 days notice.
Oh, okay, so I had 2 months. Oh, okay. So
so
I'm the client. So Jen, what do you mean I'm not going to have rollover minutes anymore?
Yeah, we are not doing rollover hours. It was too complicated, and I actually don't think we were doing you a service as a client, because what we were doing is we were allowing you to delay delegating, and by delaying delegating, you're stunting the growth of your business. You came to us because you were overwhelmed and had too much on your plate. So by us giving you that flexibility, you're able to delay that very important item of delegating so you could step into that role of CEO. So when we're not doing right by our clients, we have to make changes. So we decided to stop the rollover hours.
Oh, okay. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper then, because you don't have to account for me not using hours.
No, our hourly rate is the same, but you can certainly adjust your monthly amount with us. But I suggest you don't, because you still have those needs that you had when you started with us. And we're just going to work more closely with you to make sure that you task out your sparent effectively and grow your business.
Okay.
Did I convince you?
Yeah, I think you did.
Good.
That's great. It sounds like you had this conversation before.
No.
Really?
No, Jen's the queen.
No.
She's took the correct role. She's the queen.
It's not hard to do, because I knew exactly why I was doing it. It wasn't all, and it was those reasons. It was exactly the reasons I told you. It wasn't coming from a place of dishonesty. It wasn't coming from a place of greed. It was coming from a place of practicality for both the business and the client. It wasn't working for either of us. And it's like if you look for wins on both sides, but if you also have to analyze, like, if we're losing on both sides, then we need to change. We need to change the script a little bit. So, and I think that's why we didn't get any pushback from clients. We communicated effectively. We gave them plenty of notice, and they knew why we were doing it. So it's not like I didn't have to spend any time on the phone explaining myself to clients.
Yeah, no, and you gave all the perfect reasoning. So
it was perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks.
There we go.
I'll try. Role play done. Okay, check that off the list. Now we can move on to musical theater.
Yeah.
So good.
So I know we're like already well past our time at this point, but we missed this on last week, and I don't know which one of you wrote this, but the great businesses nicing or niching themselves out of business.
It was me, and it was people that nice themselves out of business.
Oh, nice. Oh,
nice,
okay.
nice themselves.
Oh, I thought it was niching.
I was calling it nicing, like pricing and nicing. Like,
yeah.
I'm so nice, and I want everybody to be able to afford me, and I don't want to exclude anybody, and I want everybody to get value. And so I'm practically giving my services away for free, and now I can't afford to pay my mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talk to clients like this all the time. Like, I talked to a woman, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I disqualified her as a client because she wasn't ready to delegate. And what she said multiple times during the call, and she's been in business 9 years, has never made a profit. And she's like, I don't never made a profit, which means she doesn't have a business. She has a hobby, a very expensive hobby. And she's like, I'm not a business person. I'm just not a business person. She was giving her services away, literally. And I had no patience because I was like, your most powerful word is no, you're not using it. And you can keep telling yourself you're not a business person, but that's a lie. It's a false story that you're making come true. But it's a story you've been telling yourself for a really long time. You don't have to be a genius to be a business person. You don't. You do not have to be a genius. You don't have to be smarter. You don't have to have an MBA. You just need to know some basic math. some basic math.
But even if you don't know that basic math, you can find templates, budgeting templates, and all sorts of things online.
You just have to value your time and be willing to work hard until your business gets to a point, and then be willing to be that CEO and delegate and grow your business and scale it if that's what your vision is.
I totally just want to say one thing there, Jen, is that I see that the biggest problem, and that client of yours, not that client, that prospect of yours had it, and this is the problem that most people have putting up their prices, is mindset. It is purely mindset.
It was a mindset issue, but it was one that had been in place for a really long time, right? She had been, and so on one hand, I felt badly for her, but I'm not a mindset. I'm not going to switch your mindset. That's not what she didn't call for that.
Spirit mindset service.
The spirit mindset. We haven't put a price on that yet. But it was interesting to see it in action. And see, and this person's not the only one. I see it all the time. Business owners getting in their way. I mean, literally, success is on their doorstep and they are just trampling all over it and putting, cement bags on top of it.
I love to say, tell me more about that.
Tell me more about
that.
You sound like a therapist. Oh my God. All right. Well, I want to, we've had some people watching, and so I'd love to hear about pricing struggles that you've had, because if all business owners have it. Not only sometimes do we have struggle with like what to even start pricing something at, but then when it's time to raise those prices, it can be really challenging how to approach it, when to do it. So we'd love to hear your pricing stories. I'm sure you got some good ones out there.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things is when you're going to put your prices up and you're just sort of talking it through someone that you know quite well, and they actually go, oh, no, I don't think you should do that. I find that harder than just putting them up. So sometimes our own inner circle can hold us back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you have to be willing to lose some clients when you raise your rates. You just have to be willing to, accept that. The video that Joe had shared, and a link is in our comments. The host makes a really good point that sometimes we fall into this trap of we really want to work with somebody. And I've done this myself.
Oh, totally.
Where I've had a potential client. I'm like, oh, I'd really have that client. I really love that client in our, stable of clients. I'd really want them on our roster. I want to work with them so bad. And he said, what happens is that you end up doing yourself a disservice because you want to work with them so badly. You start, discounting your services. You don't respect the business boundaries that you have established for your other clientele. And it just gets real messy real fast. So you have to be really firm in the belief of your value and the services and products that you are putting out there, and very firm with your pricing, and not let, a form of stargazing, of worship, client worship, bend you.
Totally.
It's tough though. It's tough sometimes.
Yep,
Well,
it is.
yeah. It's easy to fall into that trap because you're following them, right? Like they're
Oh
not
yeah.
necessarily following you,
Yeah.
and that's why it's important to align yourself with your own host of clients that might not be the biggest brand names that people know, but ones that are strong in their niche in their industry that
Mhm.
they might not be the sexy one, but they're the one that is going to actually pay what you're worth and
Right.
actually want to work with you and maybe go and out of their way to get you more clients because maybe they're not as big as that other brand that you're like, I
Well,
gotta
I was
work with
going to
them.
say, do a really good job and make that client the sexy one.
Right.
Yeah, right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be into
Be the
that.
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant.
Absolutely,
Brilliant advice.
absolutely.
I didn't get a bell for that joke.
Oh, I'm
Excuse
sorry.
me?
I'm sorry. I was
Honestly,
flicking
Sam,
the.
I think you deserve a lot more bells than you got this show. I didn't want to say anything,
All right,
but
there you go.
Oh!
Uh,
Sam got the groove. She got the
yeah,
groove.
right. So real quick, who's getting my lunch money this week? Is a company called and service called TubeBuddy. If you're running a YouTube channel, it's totally free. It starts as free. So you totally should download the plugin and get access to like all these great features that help you get more more found in YouTube world. So any kind of video that you're doing, and like we were just talking about, like big brands, right? Like here's some of the big brands that they're working with. So it's really awesome. Like I said, it starts as free. It goes as cheap as like $4.50 a month if you're just getting started. So if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, like bam, you can start right out of the gate $4.50 a month, which is nothing, but it's a super powerful tool. And you'll probably end up paying the $19 a month before you know it, because it's totally worth it if you're going to take it seriously.
It totally is. I love TubeBuddy.
So you both
Yeah.
have used it, and you've
I've
seen a
used-
difference in your
I
subscribers.
love that it tells me like the search terms that I can put in, and they're
Mm.
just there. It's just like
It's so much
that.
easier.
Oh, it's just like there's 2 hours saved on its own.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
so good, so good.
It gives you that SEO checklist like Yoast does, where it tells you like, oh, you don't have your HD thumbnail yet, and you don't have this, and you haven't put in the end video or the end, page, like all the things that you, when you're just getting started, don't realize you need to be doing to help get found and help get people
wow.
into your circle of watching all your videos, and binging on them. It definitely is a great tool. So I would absolutely.
I was a bit excited when I saw you put that in, Joe. I thought,
Oh,
good one, good one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't really utilize YouTube myself, but I love knowing that this exists because we definitely, work with clients that have YouTube.
Your clients will love this, Jen.
Yes, I love it.
Absolutely.
TubeBuddy, I love the name too.
Yeah, definitely makes YouTube a lot easier and more digestible to like put together really quality content and then get it found by people. So that's who's getting my lunch money this week.
Wow, take
Good
my
work.
money. Take
Well,
my
thank you. I
money.
thought everybody knew about it, Jen. I was scared. I was.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
All right. Well, this episode has been a lot of fun. I hope you've all gotten something out of it. And I'm looking forward to next week's episode, and hopefully we'll know in a few days what that episode will be about. So you definitely want to make sure you're joining us next Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and Tuesday, 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. I think I don't need to say Tuesday. Can't I just say 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Time for Monday? Isn't that enough? I guess
No,
not.
because
Okay.
then that would be Monday morning, and people would be sitting here for 24 hours waiting for us.
Oh no, that would be terrible.
That would be.
I don't want anybody doing that.
Australians do like to chill out, but not that much.
Send us your questions and suggestions to questions@businessgeekspodcast.com. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with the business geek in your life. We will see you all next Monday/Tuesday. Take care, everybody, and have a great week.